We have so many new indie releases to talk about, and we also need to talk about what this is. And whatever the fluff this is, I'm gone for 1 week and brands seems to have lost their will to live. My name is Angelica, and every Friday I have an episode on my channel all about the new makeup releases and stuff that's been released, announced, and sneak peek so that we can go over what's new in the makeup industry so you don't have to be reading all the newsletters or looking through all the Instagram accounts to know what's new and poppin' and fun. It's just a way for me to collect all the things for you in just a little tidbit so that you can watch this and be up to date on what is being released. I'm very excited to let you know that this video is sponsored by Factor. Factor is an amazing meal service where you get stuff delivered right to your door. With Factor, there's no shopping, there's no prepping, there's even no cooking, and there's no cleaning. You get restaurant quality meals with high quality ingredients specified to your diet. Maybe you're trying to eat a little bit more calorie smart, maybe you're eating vegetarian like me, maybe you're just trying to eat a very well-balanced diet, and it will be delivered right to your door, fresh, never frozen, and you can have dinner or lunch or a snack ready in 2 minutes. And if you have been on my channel before, you know that I am no fan of grocery shopping, and I am a big fan of HelloFresh, and HelloFresh actually owns Factor, and I do love switching in between them. If I have a very stressful week, Factor is really easy because the meals are already prepped and delivered. And if I have a little bit more extra time, I do love cooking together with my husband, but I really don't want to go to a grocery store. With 35 different meals to choose from every week and 60 different add-ons, everyone is sure to find something that they like, so you don't get tired of eating the same things all over. And maybe you want to add on some desserts, maybe you want to add on some breakfast, anything to make your everyday work easier. And I will say, as someone who works from home, so sometimes when I just get really caught up in work or I work really late, it's really nice to have Factor on hand. Factor's fresh, never frozen meals are dietitian approved and ready to eat in, like I said, just 2 minutes. So no matter how busy I get, I can always have a nutritious and really well tasting meal. And Factor is flexible. You can always change how many meals you want to do in a week. You can always skip a week if you're busy that week. And like I said, Factor also has a lot of other options that you can add on as well, like juices and smoothies, just to keep your fridge well stocked in case you need a little snack. So go to factor75.com or click on the link below and use the code Angelica50 to get 50% off your first Factor box and 20% off your next month of orders. That's code Angelica50 at factor75.com to get 50% off your first box plus 20% off your next month of orders. And if nothing else, do check the link down below to see the different options that they have on the menu. Their menu is truly spectacular. Thank you so much, Factor, for sponsoring the beginning part of this video. Now let's get into the new makeup releases. Before we jump into today's episode, I also wanted to let you know that I'm gonna have my member exclusive Zoom chat together with my members, which are tier 2 and tier 3 of my membership. You can read more about that either in the link that is in the description box or in the button that is next to the subscription button. If you're a member of my channel, not only do you support the channel a little bit extra, you also get access to member exclusive videos and member exclusive emojis to use in the chat. And also tier 2 and tier 3, we have a Zoom chat every month where we sit down and chat a bit, and that one is happening tomorrow on Saturday. All the information is going to be in the community tab, visible for everyone that is tier 2 or tier 3. So if you are a member tier 2 or tier 3, don't forget to check in on the community tab to see all the info about the chat that is happening tomorrow. And I am actually wearing a new release on my eyes today. Let me scoochie to the side so we can fit a little picture. And of course, on a totally unrelated note to what's on my eyes right now, let's talk about the new Nomad cosmetics release that is gonna be revealed tomorrow. I actually, again, totally unrelated to what's going on my eyes, actually had time to film something with this palette that is coming. Again, absolutely no correlation between what's on my eyes and what's going on here next to me. But I just wanted to let you know that I actually will have a video on this release. I don't always have time. It doesn't always fit into my schedule to do dedicated releases or dedicated reviews on the releases that are coming, because quite honestly, it takes a lot of time and it has to like slot in perfectly into my schedule. But I did have extra time and I've had this palette on my hands for quite some time actually. So I was super excited to film some looks. And even if you aren't interested in this palette, there's gonna be 2 colorful tutorials. Maybe you can get some inspiration for summer. This one is being released on Tuesday. You can use my code Angelica, you can get some money off. I always link all the things that I'm talking about down in the description box. So if you're missing like what was the brand that she was talking about, where can I find it, when is the release date, those things are always going to be down in the description box together with some affiliate links and affiliated codes in case you're interested in any of that. We also need to talk about the new Blend Bunny Cosmetics palette. I am very, very intrigued about this one. I just saw this, like I'm filming this on a Thursday. Oh my god, I was gonna say Tuesday. I'm so confused. I'm filming this on a Thursday. I came home from Vegas. I was at a conference with the company that ships out my Cinch Beauty products because I own it, my own brand that's also linked in the description box. It's called Cinch Beauty. I was with a conference with them this week, and I brought Samantha March as my +1. So I've been totally out of the loop with all of the releases that have been going on. And this was the first one that I saw when I got back. And this one is being released. Again, I haven't seen it all. It's the 26th of June, 9 a.m. PST. It's going to be $42. Again, you can use my code and you can get some money off. I have the same code everywhere. You can just try it, except at Juvia's Place. At Juvia's Place, my code is Angelica. I don't know what's going on, but I tried to have a code with brands that like I really enjoy and I really like, that I think release good products, and Blend Money is definitely one of them. And this is a very, very intriguing release because this is a green and purple palette that's leaning a little bit more cool tone. It's almost like a minty, sagey, and then it is almost like muted warms in a row next to it with the yellow and the murky green. I am very intrigued to do this. Immediately when I saw, oh my God, I'm not forming full sentences. Maybe I need another coffee. Maybe I had one coffee too many. Who knows at this point? Like we're just going with it. But this was the first thing that I saw this morning when I turned on Instagram. I started to like go through the pictures and making sure that I had everything I needed to do this episode. I saw this palette and immediately I saw the combo of that murky green and the matte mint next to it. And I was like, that is what we're doing. That is 1,000,000% what we're doing. I don't know if when is the 26th? I don't know if I will get this palette before release. I don't know, because I'm going to tell you right now, the shipping is, the tracking is not tracking at all. So I don't even think this palette has been shipped yet. So I don't think there will be a dedicated video because I see people saying that they're going to be receiving the palette soon. Mine hasn't even shipped yet, so I don't think I'm going to do a dedicated video on this, but I will do something on it for sure, and we will definitely be using that like mint green with the murky next to it. It looks beautiful. So beautiful. And this palette is called Longing, and she said, I designed Longing as a single palette about 2 summers ago. Now that I think about it, I wanted a cool leaning neutral palette that was curated with cool browns, smoky grays, steel blues, icy lavenders, and muted sages. As always, a neutral leaning palette with tons of unexpected fun tucked in. And even as someone who loves colors, I would not call this a neutral palette. I think this is a muted, colorful palette with a row or 2 of neutrals. That's just how I look upon this, but I also know that like what some people call colorful palettes, and some people call every colorful palette a rainbow palette, even though it's not a rainbow palette. So we all have different ideas of what we think that things are. I think this is a muted, colorful palette with some pops of neutrals in there, but I really like how this looks. And I'm very intrigued to see how these shimmers are, because I've been really enjoying the shimmers from Blend Money Cosmetics, the last couple of palettes. They've been really, the shimmers were never bad, but they were just not as good as the mattes, because the mattes were just incredible. And I feel like the shimmers have really been catching up with the mattes the last couple of palettes, and I've really been enjoying it. And I love Blend Money Cosmetics, and I cannot wait to try this one. I will for sure do something. I just don't know exactly what I will be doing, but I'm very, very intrigued. And I don't think this is one of her super big palettes. I wonder if this is maybe one of their smallest palettes, because she has 3 different sizes. Well, 4 if you count that new big collab palette that she did. But I'm like, I am very excited, very intrigued. Okay, we also need to talk about, there are so many indie releases. I'm so excited. This one is a full matte palette from Bella Beauté Bar, and I love Bella Beauté Bar. I love their quality. I also love their mattes. I think they're so good. And this is the Melted Mattes. It's a 20 pan magnetic matte eyeshadow palette. I know some of you love getting magnetic pans in your eyeshadow palettes. I personally prefer when palettes are not, because it is very expensive to make the palettes magnetic, which means that we are paying extra money for a feature that quite honestly I don't want or need. And so personally, I don't want that. I don't want that in palette. I don't want to pay extra for that. And also it makes the palettes very heavy, which makes them very heavy to ship. So personally, I don't want that. I don't need that. But I totally see some people loving that. So if you love that, being able to move shadows around, maybe this one is perfect for you, because you can do that. This is coming early July. Date is to be announced. Again, you can use my code and get some money off. This is a half neutral and a half almost neon colorful summer. Like, look at this. It's so pretty. There will be a, what was that one called? So this was the melted mattes. I also think there's a molten metals. Is that what it was called? Or I could be making that up. This could be me just being like, yeah, that's definitely, maybe it's not called that at all. But I think there is like an all shimmer slim palette. And we also got a sneak peek. I think there is a blush palette as well. Yeah, baked blush, matte blush palette. And this one is also coming early July. And this one has some pinks, an orchid, a couple of darker shades, and there is a more brown shade in here as well. Baked blush face and cheek palette. This looks cute. I don't love face palettes, and you know this. I think that face palettes, usually, I would love to, wow. Is this too much or too little coffee? I like being able to pick singles because I feel like it's very rare for me to get a face palette where I like all the shades, I prefer all the shades, and I use all the shades. This blush palette, I'm only gonna love maximum of 3 blushes. I already know that. It is very much more affordable to produce a blush palette than it is produce 6 different single shadows. So I totally understand why a brand would do this. It makes sense at an economics like point. But me personally, for like storage reasons and for like not wasting buying stuff that I know I'm not gonna like, I prefer buying singles. And honestly, I don't mind paying a little extra, because if you buy a blush palette for $60, one blush single is not going to be $10. It's just not possible. The blush palette might be $35 and the single might be $18. It's just, that is the way that it is, but I would rather pay $18 and get the one blush that I want than a big palette that I'm just going to forget. That is just personal preference though, because every time I say this, there are always people telling me, no, I love face palettes. I love blush palettes. I hear so many people saying that they dip into all the shades and mix on their cheeks. I think that is amazing if that is you. It's just that we all have different preferences. And if you love a blush palette and if you love matte blushes, maybe this is perfect for you. I love a blush that has, well, you can see, I don't even have a blush on today, which is crazy because I love blush. It's like one of my favorite things to apply on my cheeks. It's actually the makeup product that I started using first. It could have been lipstick though, now that I'm thinking of it. And I also used lipstick as blush when I was like a teenager. Wild times. But I do remember that before mascara, before lip gloss, before concealer, before any of that, I used blush and I used bullet lipstick. I was bold. We also have to talk about now, because I had a video about this last week. I will leave a link to that down below. The new palettes by Cosmic Brushes, they are releasing today, this Friday. Again, you can use the code at checkout and get some money off. This is the Neutrals and the Cooltrals. These are just 2 palettes that are launching today from Cosmic Brushes. This is a UK-based indie brand. They do ship worldwide, but just know that they're in the UK. I know the prices in dollars are, they're 28 British pounds each. I think they are like 35 or something around that, but again, you can use the code and get some money off. And I don't 100% know if you're living in the EU if you're gonna have to pay duties on that because the UK, you know, Brexit and all of that. But I love Cosmic Brushes. It is one of my favorite formulas. I think it is a very, very pigmented formula. I think it's beautiful to work with. I love everything about their palettes. I think it's amazing. And if you want to see like some of my swatches, you want to see some of my looks, that one is already live on my channel. That was last Friday. I put it up as a bonus video. That is true, but it is releasing today. And I'm saying this just because Cosmic Brushes has a tendency of sometimes selling out immediately and then it takes a couple of months for them to restock. So if you know that you want this one, I would set an alarm. If you're still on the fence or if you're thinking, hey, I don't need this one, don't rush to buy anything. I'm just letting you know this is one of the brands that have a tendency of selling out. And I know most brands are able to buy enough stock to not sell out at this point, but this brand does have a tendency sometimes to sell out. But I'm hoping they have enough stock for everyone because I really like this release. When Kim Kardashian decided to relaunch her makeup brand and it was no longer Kim KW Beauty, what was it called before? Something along those lines, and she relaunched it as Under Skin, I really didn't think that it was gonna be like even more boring than before. I didn't see that coming, but here we are. We are at the point where this is the launch. And I know that like it is so beautiful to get a lot of lip products with like just different undertones. but sometimes they're just a little too close to each other, and this just ends up looking so boring. And then also with this super boring packaging. And I know that there are people who look at this and they're like, this is everything I want. This is everything I want. I'm dying, sneezing, breathing for this brand. And I look at this and I'm like, they're all so similar and they all look so boring that I really cannot for the life of me be like, which one do I want? And that comes from someone who loves a nude lip gloss. That comes from someone, I'm still wearing these, I don't know which one I'm wearing. I'm probably wearing this one. It's the Balms from Bare Minerals. I love a nude color, but I don't need this little of variation between them. And to be fair, honestly, if I tried all of these, I'd probably find one that's like, oh my God, this is the perfect undertone. But I just can't get excited about a range like this. And with saying that, I'm sure there are people who look at this and they're like, finally, there's like so many nude glosses with small variations. I'm going to be able to find that perfect one for me. I just can't. I can't get excited about this. I think the other ones are highlighters, $35 each. The lip glosses are $25. And I don't want any of it. I don't know. Are you excited about Skin by Kim Kardashian? I know that this is her aesthetics. I understand. And some people who only wear neutrals, maybe they love this. There's something about the extremely streamlined neutral color selection together with this white packaging that seems like it's dusty. Like it seems like it needs to be like washed off. There's something about that combo that just looks so boring. So boring. Again, maybe it's great. It's really hard for me to get excited about that. It's just so boring. I also feel the same about this one, and this almost surprised me a little bit because Buxom is one of those brands where I'm like, you still out here doing stuff? Like who's out here buying Buxom? It's one of those brands that just really was so popular. 2016, 15, 16, 17, people were loving Buxom. And then for, I want to say one reason or another, but like, I guess they just didn't have a clear hit. They had that hit with the glosses, and then they had a hit with the blushes, but then there really wasn't anything that was like people were dying over. So they kind of just sizzled off, and all the releases that they have been having since then have been very either anonymous or very light, bland, boring releases. And this one is also bland, boring, just doesn't look fun. The packaging isn't fun. The color selection is extremely predictable. It just is not fun. Not fun. And with that being said, I'm sure that if people had this palette, they would love it and use it. But this palette is for people who buy one palette and use that palette. And I don't know if that is the group that is buying the most makeup. And I don't know if that is like enough to keep Buxom being relevant. Because if we think about, I'm saying like, if we think about the palettes that have been extremely hyped throughout the makeup like timeline, at least with social media, because we can all say like, oh no, not everybody buys makeup through social media, which is true. But social media is, and people can argue this all they want, but social media is truly the thing that can sell out your brand quick, fast. Like it can hype up a product the way that consumers going into Ulta word to word, just the mouth to mouth thing, it can't be done like that in this time and space, like where we are right now. So for something to be like truly hyped through social media and for things to be like new life to be breathed into Buxom, I don't think this is gonna cut it, because this isn't the type of palette that people get excited about unless you're a brand that's already hyped. I'm thinking Patrick Ta, Makeup by Mario, but that's not Buxom. Buxom needs something that will make people look at Buxom, because people aren't looking at Buxom right now. They're not Makeup by Mario. They're not Patrick Ta. They cannot come up with something like this and people being super excited about it, unless they pay an influencer to be super excited about it. I don't know. Let me know what you think about this, because I feel people who buy a neutral palette at this point, they're probably not gonna buy this. I might be wrong, but I would love to hear your thoughts. Remember how I said that like body sprays are taking over our lives? Kopari is also releasing some, and these are Lost in Paradise Hair and Body Fragrance Mist Set. I think this is a full set that you have to buy. No, it is, each scent is also available individually. So they're $29 each, or you can buy the full set for $110. And there's also a mini set, which I think I would recommend if you are interested in this. Don't buy the full size, because like four full sizes of body sprays for $110 is a lot. The mini set is $32. So these are 4 different scents. Warm and musky. It's more like a vanilla, creamy milk, floral spice. That one has cardamom in it, and I am interested to smell that one actually. Then there is a jasmine, white peach mango, white flowers. Again, white flowers, not for me. Fruity floral. And then floral powdery, which is my least favorite fragrance category. I don't want florals, and I don't like powdery scents. It takes a lot for me to get on board with a powdery scent. This one is bergamot, neroli, white flowers. Oh, this is the one with cardamom. My mistake. This is the one with cardamom. I love cardamom in scents. Love it. Powdery? Absolutely not. Then there is a sweet and creamy, which is more like a peachy, milky, coconutty scent. Not for me. This is one of those, I can smell those Sol de Janeiro scents. I smelled those at Sephora. They all smelled the same to me. They're not different enough to me. They all have that Sol de Janeiro like body to them, the DNA of Sol de Janeiro, and I don't see the need to add like 6 new fragrances to my collection. It's too much. So for me, that was an absolute easy pass. I still am dying to get that juice though. It is available now. I might even walk into a Sephora to get that one, because I really want that. Because I made an order at Sephora actually when I was in Vegas, and it came here. I bought the, should I do a try new makeup for next week? Because I did buy the Too Faced foundation. I bought the Huda blushes. I bought some of the new colors by ABH, the lip velvets, and I bought the new highlighter from, what's his name? Perfector. This could be a fun like trying new makeup, and maybe I can put in the Blend Bunny palette. See, thoughts are forming in my head. Things are happening. Also, we talked about this last week, and they are available now. These are the new Unreal Skin Sheer Glow Tint and Island Glow Lip and Cheek things from Charlotte Tilbury. And it is also the glow tint, like the stick. So it is the stick, and it is the cream blush. Does this make sense? The stick foundation. This is described as a no makeup stick. Like that is how it's described. And I saw someone use it, and one of you tagged me in that, and thank you so much, because I was speculating in last week's episode that I thought that this was going to be the Hollywood Flawless filter, but in a stick. And somebody was using it side by side, and it looked the same. So this is going to be a sheer coverage, very glowy, probably slightly shimmery, no makeup like tint. I'm actually very intrigued to try this. Should I buy this? I might buy this too, because I'm intrigued to try it. I want to see if this one holds up better than the Hollywood Flawless finish, because that one becomes slippy and greasy on the skin. And I'm thinking, will this hold up better? Because like, why else would you make it 2 different products? Maybe I am just giving the brand too much credit. I don't know. Let me know what you think about that. $46 though, which is a very hefty price tag. That product better be changing my life at that price tag. Do my taxes, fold my laundry, plan my groceries, like, whoo, $46. 1,000,000% yes. 1,000,000% yes. I talked about this last week, and this actually got shown before my video went live. But I was unsure if I could show the new stuff from Kayali because it got leaked. I want to say like a month and a half ago, this product got leaked. Probably a retailer put it up too early. So I already knew this one was coming, but I didn't want to put it in my video in case they didn't show it. But this is a summer fragrance set by Kayali. And this is the Vacay in a Bottle miniature fragrance set. It is $105 for 4, but these are not body sprays. These are actually, I think, perfume. Yeah, eau de parfum. Yeah. So this is perfume. So $105, you need much less of this and it will last longer. For me, Kayali lasts a really long time. The thing about this is that I am very, very impressed with the combinations of scents. I haven't smelled this yet. I'm saying impressed in theory. I'm impressed in theory about the fragrances that they have put together. So there is Marrakesh in a bottle. This is bergamot, orange blossom, pink pepper, Turkish rose, neroli, and cedarwood. I love bergamot in scents. I love bitter scents and I love like citrusy scents. Then it is Capri in a bottle, and this is lemon, sugar, freesia, raspberry, vanilla, and musk. I love raspberry in fragrances and lemon and sugar, and since it is called Capri in a bottle, I'm thinking they're trying to do a limoncello, which makes me very excited. I cannot wait to smell this one. I usually don't love sugary scents, but together with lemon, I'm thinking they're trying to go for limoncello, especially since they're doing Capri. Then there is Maui in a bottle, and this is sweet banana. I smelled a banana tone in a fragrance, and it was a Marc Jacobs. One of the new Marc Jacobs ones has banana as a note, which really smelled lovely, but that one, the other notes in it wasn't perfect for me. Marc Jacobs doesn't really have, again, if we're talking about fragrance DNA, I think Kayali has a fragrance DNA that really works for me. I like it. I tend to like notes that I don't even usually like with Kayali. I like their gourmand scents. I love their vanilla scents. Things that I don't really like in other fragrances, I tend to like with Kayali. And the opposite when it comes to some other brands, for example, Marc Jacobs, their scents are almost sickly candy sweet, their DNA in some of their scents, which I just can't get on board with. But this one, the one from Kayali, the Maui in a bottle, it is sweet banana, pear, coconut cream, jasmine, sandalwood, and vanilla. And Kayali does the cream and vanilla notes so well that I am just hoping that this is going to be like a banana creamy cocktail kind of a thing. Then there's Maldives in a bottle, and this is rosemary, wild lemon, star fruit, banana blossom, ylang ylang, and coconut milk. I am obsessed with rosemary. I love the scent of rosemary. I love the taste of rosemary. If I see a cocktail with rosemary, I've already ordered it. I love rosemary. So I am so excited about that one. And I love that they say rosemary first. I'm really hoping that I really hope I can taste the rosemary. I'm not tasting the perfumes, okay? That's not what we're doing, but I'm very excited about this. I usually get PR from Kayali, so I'm just gonna keep my cool for a little bit and see if I get this in PR, because there's no need for me to buy it if I'm also going to get it in PR, because that's what I did with the last fragrance and that was stupid. So I'm just going to hold up for just a little bit and I'm going to see if I get it in PR, if I get tracking. If not, I'm going to buy it. I just don't want to get 2, but I'm very excited. Very excited. Also, speaking of having 2, in last week's episode, in case you missed it, I did have a giveaway at the end of the video. So if you didn't watch last week's episode, you probably should go back and watch that one. My inner childhood was screaming when I saw that Mooncat is doing a collab with Powerpuff Girls. This one is launching, I think this is also launching today on Friday. I don't know if I'm gonna... I love painting my own nails, but I don't do it enough. I need to go next week and redo some of these because they're getting a little scuffed, but I really like these nails. They're really good. But these are so cute. I especially love that green shimmery polish. I think that one is beautiful with there's just really, really good polishes in this collection. Go check out Mooncat if you are interested. They have so many good polishes. I love their quality. I also really like that they did a Chemical X one, which is the black with lots of different kinds of glitter in there. That one is really pretty too. But the one that I am eyeing is that green polish. That one is really pretty. So if I were to buy one, it would be that one. Is it worth it? Should I buy it? It is really cute. And I love Powerpuff Girls. I used to watch that with my brother when we came back from school at Cartoon Network. Before Cartoon Network was even in Swedish. Because in the beginning, it was in English. So we watched in English. Oh, those were the days. That's my childhood. That and Dexter's Laboratory. I loved Dexter's Laboratory so much that I named our cat Dee Dee. We have another fragrance that is coming, and this one is Phlur Vanilla Skin. I like some Phlur fragrances, but I don't like all of them. Again, Phlur is another one of those brands that their DNA sometimes leans a little floral. They have a tendency of wanting all of their fragrances to lean a little floral. And this one is Vanilla Skin. So I'm guessing because it's called Skin, it's probably going to be a softer vanilla fragrance. And my perfect fragrance is just grass. I want to smell like a sophisticated piece of grass. And this says, unlike any vanilla fragrance, this evokes an iconic creaminess oh my god, somebody needs a pay raise, wrapped in a kaleidoscope of spices and intrigue. Woo, intrigue. This is developed to have a longer wear time. Okay, so this one has pink pepper, pink apple, sugar crystals. See, this is where you lose me, because I love apple fragrances, but I don't love sweet apple fragrances. And then here comes lily jasmine petals. And I know that when they say that, they mean that. Phlur has a tendency of having a very floral DNA, and I don't hate it. It's just not my favorite. It's not my favorite. I have a couple of scents from them I really like. I like Father Figure. It is a little too floral for me though. I think it is a nice, almost unisex floral fragrance, but I wish it was more fig, less florals. I do really like Tangerine Boy though. I think that's the only one where I really can't get that floral DNA that they seem to put in everything. This is very intriguing, and this is from Clarins. This makes me very intrigued because this is the Lip Perfector 2-in-1 Lip and Cheek Color Balm, and this is a balm and highlighter. So I think that they are going to be releasing some highlighter colors in the same packaging as they have their really nice lip balms with colors. Oh, they're so nice. I have been obsessed. I think it's in my purse actually. I have been obsessed with the bright candy red lip oil from Clarins. Obsessed. I know people are like, oh, I hate when influencers say obsessed. Obsessed. I am obsessed. I need to film a best and worst of 2024 so far, and you can expect that one to be in it. If I forget it, oh, that's gonna be embarrassing, but I'm telling you right now, obsessed. I love it. That one with a nude lip liner, so good. But this says, inspired by Clarins' iconic lip plumping lip gloss, this all-in-one balm for lips and cheeks can be used as a tint or as a highlighter for a natural, healthy-looking luminous glow, blah, 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 blah. And it has 2 types of mother of pearl, multi-shine effect, jelly balm, light, non-sticky texture. I am very, very excited to try this one. I do get some PR from Clarins, so if not, I think I'm gonna pick this up either way because I'm intrigued to see them do a liquid highlighter. Because they do lip products so well. We have another thing from Clarins to mention as well. They've also come out with a quad. This is an Ombre 4-color eyeshadow palette. It's in Maple Graduation. This is a new color story that's coming for the fall season, but a lot of these like more department store makeup brands like Clarins, they come out with their fall things in the summer. If you're into designer like fashion, the pre-fall collections are coming into store right now as well, so it is what it is. I actually think that this is pretty cute. It is 1 mid-tone brown, and then there's 3 shimmers, 1 light, 1 dark, 1 medium, and the dark one is a more cool tone one. If you're gonna do neutral quad, I think this is very well done, so I'm just letting you know that that one is available as well. I think I might buy this one. This is the new gloss from Fenty, and it is a cool toned gloss. I think this is in the same, yeah, this is the Glop. This is the Gloss Bomb Universal Lip Luminizer. This is in Major Flex. So I don't think that this is their plumping version because I think that one is called something hot, which I don't want. This color is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Shimmering multicolored gunmetal. This is stunning. Again, I've been very into sheer colored lip glosses. The red one from Clarins, I feel like this one could be good. I've been wearing, that might also be in my purse. I've been wearing that yellow lip oil from Fantasy Cosmetic a lot. That one also, it's so beautiful with like an orange lip liner. I've been really enjoying stuff like that. Colored, sheer, glossy products. Like this one as well from Bare Minerals. The color that I'm wearing today is Friendship. That's the one I'm having. Really beautiful. Really comfortable. I'm having a ranking and reviewing some makeup. A lot of makeup. That's probably going to be Monday's video. And that one is going to be included. Tower 28 is coming out with new colors in their lip liners, which makes a lot of sense. I think they came out with lip liners in like 2 or 3 colors, which was weird. But now they're coming out with 3 more colors. Again, this isn't my perfect colors because they're 2 pinks and 1 dark brown, but they're here. What I like is that this is a lip liner that you sharpen, which is usually my favorite type of lip liner. I don't feel like it's as easy to perfect a formula that is like not overly creamy or smeary when it's like one of those that you like twist up. I think it's harder to make those perfect. So I like the presentation of this. The color stories are just not perfect for me, but there are other lip liners coming, and these are from a brand that I very rarely purchase from, but this is Laura Mercier, and she is coming out with, they are coming out with the Caviar smoothing matte lipsticks and lip liners. So these are the lip liners, and some of these colors I've seen the swatches, seem promising, because I've said this before. I like lip liners that are not too dark and not too pink and not too peach. It's really hard to find, and a lot of brands just don't do lighter beigey lip liners. A lot of brands don't even do lighter lip liners at all, which I like that. Especially with a gloss. A lighter lip liner and a gloss, absolutely love it. So this actually does look a little promising. And the lipsticks that are coming with it look really cute as well. It seems to be somewhat the same colors. I think there are more lipsticks than there are lip liners, but I feel like Laura Mercier is also one of those brands. I don't hear a lot of people talk about their products. Just the powders. And I haven't tried the powder in a really long time. And I know a lot of creators get PR from Laura Mercier, but I still don't see people mentioning them as favorite products. So I don't really know what's going on with the brand. It's one of those brands that I'm not super intrigued by. Another brand that I have never tried, but I've heard people loving the products that they have, that is Valentino Beauty. They are coming out with a Color Graph Dual End Color Gel Eyeliner. Ooh, that is a long name. Look at the colors. Look at the colors. Some are matte, some are shimmer. So pretty. So pretty. Is this gonna be me trying it? Most of them I will say are shimmers, but the pink is a matte. And that is that iconic, if you know Valentino fashion, Valentino has this very iconic, which is the fuchsia pink that you're seeing here, Valentino fuchsia pink. That in an eyeliner, I could be about that. I might buy that. I might buy that because it is the Valentino pink. Yeah, because it says pink PP. So it has to be their pink. Another brand that I have not tried anything from is Rabanne Beauty. But I have gone, I've seen the gondola ad. My Ulta has a gondola and it looks really pretty. I just haven't been in the market to try something out. But they are coming out with the new Glowies lip gloss and ultra slimline silhouette design for on-the-go lips. The colors look beautiful. These colors look very early 2000s. If you were here for the frostiness, for the frosty lilacs and crazy frosty pinks of the early 2000s, you're gonna look at this and you're gonna be like, yes, that is an early 2000s flashback if I ever saw one. That one at the top, the one that almost a duochrome frosty purple blue, that literally could be from my makeup 2004. Bananas. Actually bananas. But I like it though. It's so fun and it's so different. And I think that's the thing that I've been appreciating with going through the... Even though I haven't purchased anything, they make different things. And in a sea of brands all doing the exact same thing, we've talked about this in these episodes, some brands just do not have a brand identity anymore. Rabanne, as they do in their fashion, if you are looking for individual fashion, Google Rabanne. They make bonkers stuff in the best way possible, but they really seem to have their own, again, like just DNA feeling look of their makeup brand as well. And I do appreciate that. And maybe I should appreciate that a little bit more with my debit card too. Just not like looking at it, but actually purchasing. Let me know if you've tried the brand, because I would love to hear your thoughts. Do you have any favorites? Do you like the eyeshadows? Let me know. Glossier is doing something that I actually appreciate, which is smaller collections. And they are coming out with a summer capsule, which is 2 limited edition shades of the Ultra Lips. It is Deco and Apricot. And then they're coming out with a hair comb and a hair clip. The comb is $34. $34 for brand merch is bananas. Absolutely bonkers. I cannot believe that that is the price of that, if I'm gonna be honest with you. But I also think that it's cool. 2 lipsticks and 2 other things. I don't want to call it merch, because like you can use the comb, you can use the clip. And I feel like few brands have monetized like makeup merch the way that Glossier has. Like people are actually buying t-shirts that says Glossier and are paying to be advertising for the brand, which is bananas. Again, genius. Someone over at marketing, genius move. But I do appreciate the idea of doing a very small capsule collection for summer with special packaging and just being like, this is it. I do really like that. I think that's cool. I like the marketing pictures of this campaign as well. Will I be buying it? Not really. But that doesn't mean that I can't appreciate what they're doing. Essence is releasing some things, and I think these have already been available in Europe, and I think they might be getting to the US now, if I'm somewhat getting how this is working. So they are releasing a Baby Got Blush liquid blush, which is another one of those liquid blushes with a poof applicator. I really thought we left these in 2023, but I guess we're just, I don't know, bringing them back from what I was hoping was dead. The thing is that there are products that I love with this applicator, but they have to be a really good product, because I would still appreciate if they were just not in the poof. I love the liquid glowy formula from Charlotte Tilbury. It is absolutely amazing. Do I wish that it was in a tube with a doe-foot applicator? Absolutely. Absolutely. I will still keep using it. I will still keep bringing it on vacation, because I do, because I love the formula so much, but I don't love the packaging. So when brands bring out their own versions of that in the same packaging, I've realized that like if the formula isn't amazing, it is just cumbersome and annoying to have to jump through those burning hoops to get an okay formula to work in a subpar packaging. Please let the poof die, and let's just do wands or squeezy tubes or anything. For the love of everything, let's stop doing this. It's affordable though. It's $5.99 each. There's a bunch of colors. I'm sure it's cute. I just really wish that we didn't do this anymore. They're also coming out with another thing, and this is these are available. Yeah, these are available now. Again, I will link these down below. They're coming out with their own version of those like filter, booster, glow, mix with your foundation or put on as a sheer tint or highlighter, Hollywood Flawless Finish thingamabob. Every brand feels the need to do every product. Something is popular, they want to come out with their own version of it. Bronzer drops are popular, everyone's doing bronzer drops. Liquid highlighters with poofs are popular, everybody's doing that. These like Hollywood Flawless Finish dupes are popular, everybody's doing that. It is crazy to see how this is where the makeup community is now. Even now with packaging, a certain kind of packaging becomes popular, everybody needs to do that. I just really wish that more brands would just stay true to themselves. The way that I said Rabanne does. I mean, again, it's a new brand. What do I know? What do I know what path they're going to be walking down in the future? But it is a little frustrating to see. But maybe you're intrigued in trying a more affordable version. I do think that their sister brand, Catrice, already has this as well. And I'm just like, do we really need to come out with the same formula in both sister brands? Maybe we do. Maybe I'm just a hater. Maybe we do. Makeup Revolution is also coming out with a Juicy Peptide Lip Balm. And I feel like this is their version of the Rhode Peptide Lip Balms. Seems to be some cute colors. These are $8 each. And oh, they're different scents. So there's a strawberry, clear ice, nude spice, and a latte. I don't know what the scent is of clear ice because the scent of ice, I don't know that. It is already available. You can find it at the Revolution Beauty, and at the Revolution Beauty US website, you can use the code and get some money off in case you're interested in that. This one is also coming to Walgreens, Superdrug, Boots, a bunch of different places. These squeezy lip balms, again, this is also one of those trends where clearly every brand feels the need to bring out their own version. Okay. You know, I talked about those Clarins like lip, because that's a lip balm with like a little pillow. Are they gonna have the same pillow for the highlighters? Because that's gonna make that another one of those poofy things as well, which I really don't need. Didn't think about that. It's a little different though, that applicator. But that would have been so much better with a wand as well. But hey, I'm just a hater at this point. I'm gonna end today's episode with just briefly touching on the fact that Colourpop did restock the Pokemon collection. Well, as I'm filming this today, but if you were missing some of the items, if you were hoping to catch them on a restock, that was happening yesterday. So you can always go into Colourpop and see if anything is still in stock, because I know that this was a very popular collection that did sell out. You can try and use my code. Usually my code at Colourpop works on everything that is not already in a discounted bundle. So if there's already a discounted bundle, the code will not give you an additional money off the discounted bundle. But if you're interested in the restock of this one, because I know a bunch of you were wanting to pick something up, they did restock this one yesterday, which also means that there was no new releases from Colourpop this week. The weekly Colourpop segment is that they restocked the Pokemon one. And I think that was everything. Let me scooch back to the side. Hello! Don't forget to check back in tomorrow in case you are a member tier 2 or tier 3, where we're gonna have the member chat tomorrow morning. And other than that, I'm also gonna have the video about Nomad Cosmetics tomorrow. And I'm hopefully, fingers crossed, gonna have a video on Monday. I am not traveling now for a little bit. Next time I'm traveling with my husband and my father-in-law. We're going to Seattle to visit a couple of parks and to see Seattle, and that's not happening until July. So I'm home for a little bit, which is great. Also, thank you so much to Factor for sponsoring this video. Don't forget to check the info about Factor in the top of the description box. I hope you're having an amazing, amazing Friday, and I'll see you soon again. Bye!